765.
4-3-2-1.
Guard, what's going on, man?
I'm here. I don't know where they at.
Well, we definitely hear it now, man.
Yeah.
The game,
Mm-hmm.
the game. We got the Olympic Games on right now.
The games they play.
The games they play within the games, behind the games.
Here we go early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pro team was taking a couple L's. Basketball team was taking a couple
Exhibition. It
exhibition.
happens.
So you think they can turn on like that?
Um, it's not so much about if they could turn it on or off. It's they've caught up,
Right. The world.
rightfully so, and they play the game the right way. I'm not surprised.
Right.
We play ISO ball.
Right.
They play together.
And they practice.
Together.
They have a team. Yeah, they have a whole team.
No one man above the team.
We flying people over every once in a while.
And if it is one man above the team embraces that. Look at Luca. It ain't no, is it Luca or Buka or Snoop? No, he's the guy. Let's go. Right? We always want to. The only time I really seen him do that was the Dream Team. It was like, no, you don't. No, Mike's the guy.
Mike is the guy.
Mike's the guy. And with the Dream Team, it was more so, we here,
Right.
we here now. No
Right.
pun, but that goes to shout out to Kobe for that though. That was, you could tell that was Mama mentality. Like, yo, we here to do this together. We here to rock out together. So,
Yeah.
but now it's like, who is it?
Who's the guy?
Who's the guy?
Yeah.
People say it's KD, but do KD want to be the guy?
Right.
Is it Dame time? Is it Booker? Is it Drew Howard? Is it Middleton? They just shipped up. Who is it?
Yeah. Who's the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see those L's, and hopefully they do what they need to do or not.
Yeah.
Either way, it's fine.
Yeah.
Another thing that the USA seems to have on Smash is gymnastics.
Yeah.
I talk to my daughter a lot about. Of course, she's a gymnast, so I talk to her a lot about gymnastics. And Suni won the gold. Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
She was on the series on Peacock
Yeah.
called Golden.
You was telling me about that before. Yep.
Written and produced, executive produced by LeBron James, Maverick Carter, and Dominique Dawes.
Yeah. Dominique.
So they touch on and dig into everything behind the scenes, the parents, the gymnasts, and one of the things that it touches on is what's hot on the news right now is mental health.
Yeah.
And it being the way it's being treated now, or the way that it was basically ignored in gymnastics. And you shared some game with me on the mental health aspect. You want to speak on
Yeah.
that?
It was 1978. The gymnast Elena. I'm not going to attempt to
I'll
pronounce
call
her.
Elena
Yeah.
M. Dot.
Yeah, man, she was going through some things, man, and she didn't want to go out there. And her I guess her family, her team support, whoever that may be, just aspire her to go out there. She ends up getting injured, man. So, shout out to Simone for knowing, right? Shout out to her for knowing your mental health is not in order, right? Shout out. So, yeah, had to get at to you because I know the daughter. I know what's going on. Yeah.
Absolutely. They that's one of the things that we talked about early on, because she would be upset behind something, and I felt like she was throwing her body. She wasn't respecting the beam. She wasn't respecting the uneven bars, and that was the first thing. Listen, either you're going to respect the game, or we're going to sit to the side.
Respect
and
the game.
if you're not in it, and something you're not ready, don't do it. She's very deliberate and intentional. She takes her time. She breathes. I would say it's almost like meditating that she does prior to going at it with my daughter. But to your point, Elena broke her neck.
Yeah.
Because she felt like she wasn't ready, and her coach pushed her to go. But that was the culture of gymnastics. You weren't allowed to. You weren't strong.
That's like the culture in sports, though.
There you go.
You hear, you are ready.
There you go.
You hear, you ready.
Yeah.
No, I'm not ready.
And if not, you looked at as weak.
You weak.
Yeah.
You're not. You not. You ain't what you think you are.
Right.
But Simone's going through a lot, even with the committee on how they judging her, doing certain things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you was talking to me about that off air.
Yeah.
Touch on that.
Yeah, my daughter.
Because I didn't know. So thank you for letting me
my
know.
daughter pointed it out to me. She
Yeah.
was like, Simone Biles, when she gave me the game on. If you do a move that no one's ever done before, they name it after you.
Wow.
And then they have to figure out the difficulty.
Yeah.
So Elena M. Dot,
Yeah.
she got that move named after her
Right.
and broke her neck.
Wow.
So supposedly, what the Olympic Committee was doing, didn't want people to attempt the Simone Biles. They So they gave it a low scoring so that the kids aren't out here trying to do the Simone Biles. That's
So
why they said.
So you're right and you're wrong.
And you're wrong. Simone should not be penalized for being the Michael Jordan of the game.
Yeah. But on the flip side, I don't want you trying to be Mike if you only cool coach.
If you only cool coach, there you go, right there. You don't want nobody jumping out the jet.
So the committee is being a committee.
Yeah.
We can be right and wrong at the same. It's a paradox. We can be a paradox.
Right.
We're a living paradox. That's our job.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, left and right, all at the same time.
All at the same time.
For the sake of everybody, though.
Yes.
Right? You know what I mean? Because no one wants to see no one get hurt. So now, because Simone, she's inspiring a lot of people. You get up there, you try to do the bows, and
she there's numbers on it, and I don't have them offhand, but she single-handedly infused gymnasts, like to different gymnastic programs. They wanted to be like Simone, like people, especially, and I would say the USA team in general has done that over the years. They've basically funded different gymnastics programs.
Yeah.
Because after the Olympics, the numbers go up.
When it comes to mental health and trauma, right? That's one of those things where, it's becoming to seem a little oversaturated. Well, let's oversaturate that. That's like, if your plate is filled with greens, oversaturated, cool.
Right.
Because you can never have too much mental check for your mental health.
Man.
So cool. And it's a lot going on when it comes to just the Olympians. A lot of people are speaking out. Michael Phelps, people are speaking out like, you want me to be perfect forever.
Right.
You want me to be perfect forever, and I've never been perfect in one day.
That's ill. Like, you know what I'm
saying?
Sha'Carri Richardson, and I hope I'm saying her name right, but she, to your point, she said, I'm human.
I'm human.
And those are the rules. I know people get into it back and forth and saying that it's racist and throwing all these things into the game, and basically she knew she was going to be penalized. What we should have done early on was have an issue with marijuana being part of the testing, because it's the banned substances.
Yeah.
Because it's not a.
Well, that's a very fine line for me, because if cannabis, right? Cannabis it's a naturally grown plant, right? Comes from the ground, right? And I get it. The Olympics committee, they have their own rules. Cool, right? In theory, your rule is, right, I can't take something that is coming from the ground. That's your rule, though, right? It's cannabis, the THC levels and all that. But we all know that you indulging in cannabis does not make you run faster.
It doesn't enhance your skills.
It doesn't enhance any skills, right? On the flip side, right, we have transgender athletes that participate in these sports, right? Now, whether you're choosing to identify or not identify, that's up to you. I'm solely speaking on what comes with that. Right, what comes with someone living in that community is you have to take certain medicines that are man-made, right, that are enhancing certain things. They're moving your testosterone. They're lowering estrogen. It's a lot going on within that human anatomy.
Right.
So it's like, let's find the Olympics have to find balance, period, within everything. It has to be fair for everyone. Just not. It can't just be this way for you because you're a man, this way because you're a woman, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
It's the Olympics, right? Let's have an equal, fair, balanced everywhere for everyone. Because you're telling me I can't smoke some herb, but you're telling me that, so it's not okay for me to smoke some herb that is not enhancing anything I'm doing, but on the flip side, it's okay for you to take this medicine that was man-made in a lab that's making you stronger or making you weaker. Right, because your testosterone can't be a certain level. Right. There's so much going on with that. Right, so it's like, come on, man.
But that alone.
It's a fine line.
But it's not it's a thick line.
To your point, your daughter's been doing gymnastics for how long now?
She's been doing gymnastics since she was 9 years old, so 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Your daughter gets to Olympic trials and she gets bumped out by a transgender athlete.
Right.
That's a thick line that no one really wants to tackle or tuggle with, because I don't want to be insensitive to anyone's choice of humanity. But the Olympics, you're the Olympics. There's nothing higher than the Olympics.
Right. So they should create.
Your rules and regulations have to be
pristine,
psychologically acute, above below no one.
Right.
Pristine. Yes.
Okay. I
Come
agree.
on.
Yeah.
So
So figure it out. You basically.
Naomi.
Don't wait till we get
Naomi,
here. Okay.
y'all serving her because she don't want to serve y'all. Let's figure it out, man.
Come on.
Yo, I'm saying let's figure this out. This is the
Yeah.
Olympic stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is not a community college.
Right.
Community college school, but this is
the
Ivy
world-
League. This is
the world. The world's got their eyes on this.
come
This
on,
is
man.
the world.
Let's
the world
figure it
games.
out, man.
Okay.
And then when someone says I'm going through some stuff, it's like they get ostracized.
Mhm.
Because you want me to be perfect forever. I've never been perfect in one day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I know a couple people touched on it. That physically, if I broke my leg,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be okay with that. I broke my leg, I can't perform.
Yeah,
All right, my mind ain't right.
right.
I need to step out.
I need to step away.
I need to meditate. Whatever it is that I need to do. I need to do. But for so long, that wasn't catered to.
Right.
You know, for so long we looked at people and we said, "Oh, he ain't mentally tough.
He ain't mentally tough.
He can't beat a guy because he's not mentally tough."
Right.
I think Kevin Love, maybe someone else might have came forward as far as having issues with their mental health, and then that took a little bit of time to catch up with. The guy, I'm the real player of the year.
Who's that?
From college, I'll skip that. But
Okay.
he had he couldn't get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
He was the
I remember. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it slips
yeah,
my mind as
yeah.
well. Right.
But,
right.
but he couldn't get on plays. He was ostracized for
Right.
that. He was looked at as crazy, or
Right.
he wasn't drafted at a high level because of that.
Right.
So but if again, we are just now catching up, and we're doing a lot of backtracking on things that have been like that in the world for years.
For years.
That has been okay to put somebody down because they weren't mentally tough. And it's just we gotta change our mindset around that. And the main thing is making sure we relay that message to our children.
Right.
You talk about meditating. You talk about taking a moment for yourself.
Right. Right.
And how important that is for you. And we just have to make that normal for our children, and regardless of what the rules are.
It separates. Are you living or are you existing? That meditation.
Yeah.
Right? Because it really gives you a moment to just examine what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Right.
Who you're doing it for. Right?
Yeah.
Straight up and down.
And I feel like we have no place to impose whatever it is. If somebody say they have, they're challenged with mental health, that's nothing we can impose on anyone. And I know,
Right.
so one of the things that that's a trigger thing. That's a trigger point for me, or some past trauma based off of me, my mental health.
Right.
When somebody passed away, and me thinking that I could control someone else being murdered.
Right.
Like, so growing up, when my best friend was murdered, my ego said, if people respected me,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have happened. So I
Right.
ain't my brother's keeper.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So when people call legend OG, nah, man, I ain't no OG.
Yeah.
My brother wouldn't have got killed if I was an OG.
Right.
My homies wouldn't have got killed if I was an OG.
Right.
I had to go to therapy for that.
Right.
And so just addressing those things, man, and making sure that people get that treatment. I got treatment now, but I didn't then.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle. I'm clear now that it was depression that I was struggling with
Right.
when those things happened.
Right.
I felt like when Russ and Todd died, I put that on me.
Mm-hmm.
I said if I was that guy,
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't have happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And without therapy, I would have carried that on forever.
Yeah. Then what do you become?
Then what do you become? And that's, again, I know we talking about the Olympics. I definitely
You talking about mental health
to
and
touch
shit. You
on
talking
that.
Olympics,
Yeah.
man. The streets is the Olympics for real. All right? You ain't getting no gold, bronze, or silver, but they got the medals.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Seriously,
All day,
man.
yeah.
The streets is one of the biggest things for us coming up. That's going to be them just getting over them hurdles, man.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
streets, like, yeah, I'm OG. How this happened to me? How this happened to you?
And I'm out the game,
Like,
bro. I'm
yeah.
out the game.
My
and
brother got
still-
shot on my block.
Yeah,
On my block.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my OG got his head blown up on my block we grew up on.
Right.
So what did that do to you? Right?
No,
You know,
yeah.
it puts you in that place, well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But you're not solving nothing.
Right. No, but
you're just
it's
recycling it.
but again, it's we here now, and I'm in a better place than I was when those things were happening, especially when my brother being killed on my mom's front step.
Right.
I felt my mom. I felt Tasha. I felt Mook. I felt the family.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just talking about in the moment. So there's no balance or measurement to it. If somebody says they're dealing with something mentally, you got to respect that. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
in that moment, why'd you feel that way?
Again, because I felt like if I was that guy, if I was OG, if I was legend,
the respect,
they would have made sure. Even though I wasn't in the game, I'm not in the game. I'm not nowhere near the game.
Yeah.
But again, that's something that I was
that's how we misconstrue respect in the street. Because rarely do you find respect in the street. Right. It's usually fear.
Right.
And when people fear you, they're going to end up doing some dumb shit.
Right.
Out of fear.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Out of fear.
And all of that, I'm not going to say all of it because I don't know the different situations, but I agree 100%. They think that you're going to get at them. It's out of fear. That the reason why they do all that. I agree. 100%. I agree 100%. Yeah.
And it's just to tie that all into one, the mental health that go with that when you got to go home. And this is the biggest thing the young boys I try to convey to the young boys is living that life. You don't know what it feels like when you got to be in the house by 8 o'clock, right? Because once the sun go in, I'm going there. Right. You can't even be outside at a certain time. Right. Somebody might be following you home, looking to kidnap you. You can't talk to certain chicks. She might be with the dudes that's trying to line you up.
Right.
It's so much. You really ready to live that life? Right. Because when you in the house, door bolted shut, got 3 alarms. You hear it's a storm. You hear a tree branch hitting the window. You think somebody coming against you.
God, I'm still tripping.
You talking about some mental health? Mental health?
I'm still
living a life like that every single day.
Trauma.
Not knowing if your best friend going to rob you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not knowing if your wife is going to tell on you. All these things, bro.
And living in that consistently. So, and again, I definitely want to spin it back to.
So that's what you can do, young boy. You can take your God-given gifts, and you can become a true Olympian. That's what you can do, right? You want to keep running the streets, your ass needs to go run on that track. Right. You want to keep beating up people, you need to go be a boxer. Everything that we've done in the streets and coming up where we come up from, people have become Olympians by doing that.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah, the challenge.